Coming up next on Shelby This Week, property taxes are approved by the Shelby Township Board of Trustees, and residents don't have to worry about an increase. And a few weeks ago, Amazon announced its big arrival to the township. Now the state of Michigan is helping with the cost. And a big celebration was held in Fraser at the site of the sinkhole. Major progress has been done to repair the area, and we'll tell you all about it. Be sure to stay with us because we have all of this more coming up next. For the past 11 years, the Shelby Township's tax millage has stayed the same, and this year is no different.
It's not only staying the same at 9.299, but it is Macomb's lowest millage for a full-service community. That's really important to us because, you know, a good, solid community has excellent public service, it's got excellent quality of life, and it's got very solid fiscal, responsible budgets. We have all three. We've got, in fact, we just put to bed our 2017-2018 budget. We just finished yesterday. And that's why I can sit here with confidence and say that not only this year and next year, but for the next 5 years, whether we're here or not, the tax millage will not increase.
The Board of Trustees voted unanimously to keep the tax rate the same. The 2017 tax rate will support the 2018 Shelby Township budget, which the board will approve in December. A continuation from last year will be the allocation of the mills from the general operating fund to the police fund to make sure the police department runs to the full extent. Supervisor Stathakis made it a point to mention Shelby Township continues to be Macomb County's lowest cost full-service community. One of the top priorities for years here in Shelby Township has been a new senior center, library, courthouse, and cable TV station. Now those plans will be a reality starting next spring.
We're excited about the campus expansion because we are now going to have a brand new court, we're going to have a brand new community center, and also we're going to have an expansion of the police department. Now, when we actually built the police department, we knew that it was the right size for the time, but sometime in the future, when we had the money, we knew we would probably expand it. And we're going to do that. We have the money and we're going to expand it with another 8,000 feet.
Well, we are in the process of hopefully completing the sale of Shelby Manor, our senior center, or our senior apartments. And if we complete that sale, we should have enough money to do a lot of different projects. And since this has been a priority for us for a long time, moving the library and you guys and the senior center, we want to put that first to make sure we get it done. I think it'll give us a sense of community, that people will have a center place to go to, that they don't have to go all over, you know, there'll be one place. And I think it'll be, when people get accustomed to doing that, there'll be that sense of community that we should have.
All the construction will be paid for in cash, and there will be no bonding or tax increases for residents. Along with the police department expansion, the library, senior center, parks and recreation and maintenance department, and cable TV will be together. It will all be housed in a 42,000 square foot building on the campus. Township officials believe this is the perfect time to expand and move everything to one central location because Shelby Township is one of the fastest growing communities in Metro Detroit. And with these expansions, they'll better serve the community. Macomb County wants Karen Springer out. Officials have filed a counterclaim against the county clerk to remove her from office. The county alleges Springer did not reside at her house in Warren when she says she did on a signed affidavit. That was signed when she filed to run for county clerk. The house on Hudson Street has been listed as uninhabitable since 2012. There's a lack of utilities, including water, according to the city. Officials are asking the judge to grant orders determining Springer is not properly holding the office of Macomb County Clerk. Since taking office in January, Springer has seen her name in the headlines many times. Most recently, she's been accused of hiding computers during the night because she allegedly didn't want the computers moved from her office. If they find she did lie on that affidavit, she'll face removal from office. Amazon's arrival to Shelby Township will be here before we know it, and the state of Michigan is helping out, making sure they have what they need. The state approved Amazon for a $4.5 million grant to help construct and hire people for the new distribution center. The Michigan Strategic Fund Board voted on Amazon's request for state funds. The money is to be given out in phases as jobs get created. They asked for $7.5 million for the distribution center in Livonia, and for Romulus, they asked the state for $5 million. This is the lowest amount Amazon has requested in grant money for the new center. Shelby Township's fulfillment center will be 1 million square feet and will employ over 1,000 people. The new building will be located at the former Vistion plant on Mound Road. Major improvements are happening at the site of the Fraser sinkhole, and after the collapse 9 months ago, the residents are rejoicing because sewage is now flowing again. Our Nick Buckler has more.
Construction continues to take place at the site of the sinkhole in Fraser, as it has since last Christmas. But now the end may be near.
We are here today 9 months after this thing first came to our attention. And essentially what we are going to be doing today, we're going to restore the flow through the interceptor. So the interceptor, for all practical purposes, is fixed.
With the completed interceptor, all that's left is to fill in the area where the pipe has been run, then reconstruct 15 Mile Road. We have been following the process at the sinkhole since it opened up back on Christmas Eve, leaving families scrambling to find places to go. And for a couple families, their homes have been purchased by the county and knocked down due to the cracking of their foundation. Then the county hired Shelby Township-based company Dan's Excavating to handle the reconstruction of the interceptor. That pipe was installed after a few months, and now sewage is finally flowing through it.
I'm going to turn off the pump, and then we're going to tell the crane operator to lift the bulkhead and let the flow go. Okay, let's raise that bulkhead and let the flow go. All right.
For businesses along 15 Mile Road, they'll be happy to know that the pipe is now being covered at the sinkhole, and pretty soon, everything should be back to normal.
It's been a struggle. Obviously, we're lucky enough to do a sales volume that's allowed us to keep a lot of our staff. We've retained a lot of servers, a lot of bartenders, so that's huge for us. Cannot thank the city and loyal supporters of Green Lantern. Without them, we wouldn't be able to even be operating. So sales are down, but leveled off and been consistent over the last few months.
Not even a year ago, news outlets had reported that 15 Mile was completely closed, which wasn't the case, putting businesses like Green Lantern in jeopardy of staying open.
This week has been pretty slow. Not really much happening at all aside from the construction going on.
Word of mouth spread and those slow weeks picked up, and like Spritzer said, business has since been consistent. Now, this construction site on 15 Mile Road has been here since Christmas Eve, and actually everything appears to be running ahead of schedule, so officials are hoping for a finish between Thanksgiving and Christmas just in time for the holidays. Reporting for Shelby This Week, I'm Nick Buckler.
Coming up on Shelby This Week, Utica and Eisenhower football hit the field for Week 6. We have your game highlights to recap how your hometown teams did. And one local paint shop has decided to change things up. See how they've made their products Michigan made. And grab your Halloween costume because Shelby Township is hosting an annual family fun event to get you in the Halloween spirit. All this and much more on Shelby This Week.
Open road, here comes the Heffley family.
Whether it's a short trip or a long haul.
Estimated time, 47 hours.
They will beg.
You're hungry? I'm happy to provide.
They will plead.
Deep fried butter on a stick.
But whatever you do, don't wimp out.
Now you're talking?
Make them buckle up.
He can't hurt.
Remember, safety first. Cheese curls second.
Are you orange?
Eisenhower came out with a win on Friday night, but the Utica Chieftains didn't make out so lucky in their game. Here are your Week 6 game highlights.
Week 6 MAC football action at Barney Swinehart Field as your 5-0 Eisenhower Eagles take on the visiting L'Anse Creuse North Crusaders. The Eagles defense would come up big to start the game as Henry Janeway nearly sacks quarterback Blake Daniels. But Daniels is picked off by number 42, Carlo Lorchirco, and he takes it deep into Crusaders territory. Max Whitwer would look to capitalize off the turnover as he fires a perfectly placed pass into the outstretched hands of BENNETT, and the Eagles would take a 7-0 lead. Whitwer would continue to show off why he's one of the best quarterbacks in the state as he drops this dime downfield to Asad Buhaidar, and he would not be denied as the Eagles take a 14-0 lead. This time Whitwer would show off his wheels as he takes the bootleg around the corner and all the way in for the score, putting the Eagles up 21-0 in the second quarter. And Whitwer would get his 4th touchdown of the half as he dumps the screen pass off to Jack Morris. And Morris makes the Crusaders look foolish, weaving his way in and out of the defense and all the way in for 6 as the Eagles would take a 28-0 lead into the halftime break. And the game wouldn't get any better for the Crusaders in the second half as Asad Buhaidar fields the opening kickoff, and he finds a crease, leaving everyone in the dust as he takes it in from 90 yards out, putting the Eagles up 35-0. And the Eagles would dot the exclamation point as backup quarterback Jack Morris finds a wide open Ian Kennelly downfield, and Kennelly would stiff arm his way in for 6 as the Eagles would go on to win 42-0, punching their ticket to the playoffs and preserving their bid at back-to-back undefeated regular seasons. Next up, homecoming versus Stevenson.
Utica would travel to Clinton Township to face on the Chippewa Valley Big Reds. Early on, Tommy Schuster connecting with Jacob Ribicki down to the 32-yard line of Utica. But Chippewa Valley would stall out and settle for a 32-yard field goal by Jesse Kelly. Handoff, David Ellis off the left side. Takes the corner, and he's gone. 6 points. But Utica would block the point after. Ryan Ribicki, punt return. Bringing it deep into Utica territory. Finally brought down by Juan Walker. Second quarter, Tommy Schuster handoff to David Ellis. Through the hole, into the end zone. The extra point was good, and it was 16-0. Tommy Schuster for the Big Reds, taking matters into his own hand. Getting the first down into Utica territory. Setting up this. Tommy Schuster launches a bomb. Completed in the end zone. David Ellis. Now it's 23-0. Ensuing kickoff. Kayvon Higdon almost breaks it to the house. Brought down by a shoestring tackle at the 42. Chippewa Valley pinned deep. Back to pass, Tommy Schuster. Screen to Delano Woods. Finally stepping out at the 36 of Utica. Tommy Schuster and David Ellis again. No one could stop him. This bomb. 30-0. Chippewa Valley going into the half. Second half, Schuster back to pass with lots of time. Completing to Martise Bunting. Down the sidelines, finally getting dragged down inside the 10. And on the 2-yard line, Javon Kimpson just walks into the end zone. Kayvon Higdon taking over for an injured Darren Pagasic with some nice moves here. But the Big Reds would tack on one more. Josh Wyka into the end zone to bring us to our final score. Chippewa Valley Big Reds 44, Utica Chieftains 0.
Benjamin Moore Paint in Shelby Township is no more, but instead they decided to start selling a different paint, a product made right here in our own state. Robert Gambrell has more.
Taking a risk is very difficult. Motor City Paint Company did just that by simply changing their brand, Benjamin Moore, to Made in Michigan Motor City Paint Company. As a result, that risk worked in their favor.
Motor City Paint, we started having it manufactured in 2016, and the paint company that we contract with to make the paint for us has been around since 1895. You know, a brand that, you know, we can grow and thrive in the state of Michigan, and we have paints ranging from $8 a gallon all the way up to $75 a gallon, so it gives us a broader range than what we ever had as a Benjamin Moore retailer. So we've kind of expanded our market but kept our stores better. So I think long-term financially it's going to be the best decision to make. It's a per dollar basis. You know, we're putting 60 to 85 cents more back per dollar in the Michigan economy than what we were when we were selling Benjamin Moore paint. So it's really exciting for me and to see our core values being lived out in our company.
This company has one motto, and it's...
But our slogan is Made in Michigan for Michigan. Our communities that we're in, you know, being able to give more back to Shelby Township or Grosse Pointe Woods or Rochester Hills where we're at, and being able to take care of our suppliers, you know, who are good to us, and, you know, just being good citizens, you know, is really the main thing.
Motor City Paint is different from other national brands. Brian explains why.
We focus on expansion contraction. So we just make sure our paints are the best paints for your home here in Michigan.
So as you can see, Brian knows what he's talking about. I mean, he cares for the city and he cares for this company. So don't get mad because Benjamin Moore is no longer here. Get glad. You know why? Because Motor City Paint Company is here to help you and it's here to stay. We'll get two of these. Reporting from Motor City Paint Company, I'm Robert Gambrell. Shelby This Week.
Just this past week, Shelby Township officials and community members gathered at Jean Shepherd Park for the unveiling of something new. And no, it's not the splash pad just yet, but something else. A picture of two firemen and a Shelby Township resident named Emmy is now on display.
It's an idea, I think, that came from Joe Youngblood in one of our Parks and Rec Committee meetings because we had noticed how dilapidated the door was on this dumpster here. And I'm like, nobody wants to look at that. This would be a great way to welcome people to the upcoming splash pad.
Jean Shepherd Park is named after former Shelby Township Fire Chief Jean Shepherd. The park was dedicated in his honor in 2014. The splash pad will also be located on the property. The township plans to open the new addition sometime next year when the weather warms up. Halloween will be here before we know it, and to kick things off, the Shelby Township Parks and Recreation Department will host their annual Halloween Spooktacular. Kids are invited to dress up in their costumes and join in on the fun. There will be games, arts and crafts, and hay rides. Trunk or treat will be set up in the parking lot, and kids can go from car to car and get candy. The event is October 14th from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. at Riverbends Park. For more information, visit the event on Facebook at Riverbends Park Halloween Spooktacular. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and Turning Point of Macomb hosted an annual 5K to raise awareness of the issue. Tara's Walk was held at Freedom Hill and over 500 people attended. The walk was named after a Washington Township woman who was murdered by her husband 10 years ago. People from all over came out to it, including our own Arthur Schenk.
Over 600 participants joined forces to honor Tara Grant at the annual Tara's Walk at Freedom Hill. About 40 teams participated in this year's event, representing a diverse crowd that all agree that domestic violence has to end. It's been a decade since Tara Grant was killed by her husband, an event that shocked the county and made national headlines. And it's easy to see, even 10 years after the tragic event, the strong dedication to Tara's memory throughout the community. This year, reports say that the 2017 walk raised over $10,000, which will be given to the Tara Grant Liberation Fund, which will finance survivors of domestic violence who are seeking shelter from their abusers. 1, 2, 3. Reporting from the 2017 Tara's Walk at Freedom Hill, I'm Arthur Schenk.
More than 1,000 homebound senior citizens depend on at-home meal delivery as their daily food source. Meals on Wheels is committed to supporting the elderly to live a healthier life. The organization operates in cities across the country, and their delivery system is made up of volunteers. The connection the volunteers make with the seniors are significant because it may only be the conversation that the person has had all day long. Macomb County's Meals on Wheels is seeking 130 volunteers on Columbus Day, which is Monday, October 9th. They're looking for people to pack and deliver meals. Any volunteer under the age of 18 has to be accompanied by an adult. People are needed between 9 and 11 a.m. at the Macomb County Warehouse. If you're interested in helping, contact Macomb Community Action Office of Senior Services at 586-469-5228 or register online at mca.macomb.gov.org. Still ahead on Shelby this week, a unique play place is celebrating 1 year, and they offer much more than a day out with the family. We'll tell you about this location and how they serve kids with special needs. And Oakland University is helping students obtain a bachelor's degree in a different kind of program. It's the first of its kind in Michigan. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Matt Signorello, Lieutenant Inspector with the Shelby Township Fire Prevention Division. I'm here today to discuss escape planning. When it comes to escape planning, it's always wise to plan ahead. If a fire breaks out in your home, you may only have a few seconds to get out safely. Make sure everyone in the home knows where to go. First, make a home escape plan. It can be as simple as a family conversation. Always know at least 2 ways to get out of a room. Teach your children to escape on their own and to practice fire drills as a group. It is a good idea to keep doors closed, especially at night and especially with children. When it comes time to get out of your home, designate a meeting place, typically at the end of the driveway near a mailbox or a tree. If the alarm sounds, get out and stay out. Never go back in for anything. That's what the fire department is for. If the conditions are smoky, get low and go. Call the fire department as soon as you get outside. Implement your plan today and stay safe.
For families with children who have special needs, going to the movies or even to a restaurant can be challenging. But one Shelby Township resident made her dream of having a place where the whole family can go a reality. COURTNEY BENNETT has more.
There's something very unique about this location here in Sterling Heights. It's not your typical play place. This is a very inclusive environment, and everyone's invited to check it out.
My son was diagnosed with autism at 2.5. And I would take him out into the public, and it wasn't the nicest atmosphere for him or us as a family dealing with special needs. And so I thought to perhaps create that space that would embrace him and us as a family. We offer activities and daily life living features that a lot of places don't offer.
The Play Place offers a carousel, movie theater, bistro, and much more. Shell created the nonprofit in hopes to give families like her own a place where everyone can have fun, but most importantly, be together.
As a parent and having other children, they are indirectly affected in that there are times when he gets all of the attention, or there are times when they want to go see a movie and we can't go because it's not the type of environment that he would do well in. And so we just pretty much don't get a lot of opportunities to do a lot of different things.
For people who have children with special needs, it's easy to feel defeated, but Shell keeps going every day. And she's able to balance being a mom, wife, and a businesswoman.
That call that I'll get from a parent who says thank you for having this space so that my son can be who he is without being judged. And so I kind of take it one step at a time and just keep moving forward. There's hope. It's what you make of it. I always try to stay on the positive side, and that will definitely keep you going. There will be those days where it's just, you're just baffled with the behaviors or with the lack of resources. But I invite you to Play Place because here you can commune with other parents and even grandparents. We get a lot of grandparents who are taking care of their grandchildren, and be able to relate, to hear stories that are so similar to yours, in that you realize that you're not in it alone and that you can keep pushing and that you're encouraged here.
PlayPlace has been open for a year, and they are already planning to expand to offer more to their customers. Reporting for Shelby This Week, I'm Courtney Bennett.
There are plenty of upcoming events at PlayPlace. If you would like to find out more information, visit them online at autisticplayplace.org. The auto show may be months away, but the team putting it together is hard at work planning the large event. For 3 decades, the North American International Auto Show has held an annual poster contest for high school students to get involved with the process. This year is no different. The contest is open to all Michigan students who are enrolled in grades 10th through 12th. The posters have to be original work, 18 by 24 inches in size, 2-dimensional, and camera ready. There are 16 category posters can win, and all the winners will be on display at the 2018 show in January. The entry deadline is November 21st, so encourage your high school student to enter. For more information, visit the website on the screen. Oakland University is partnering with the Michigan Occupational Safety and Health Administration, and that's most commonly called MIOSHA. The signing ceremony brought together faculty and students as well as employees from MIOSHA. This partnership will help train certificate holders on a path to earning a bachelor's degree in health and safety at Oakland University.
This program is actually really important because of the outreach, like they mentioned. Safety isn't really well known, especially for incoming students. I know when I first started, I found out that most of the students in the program didn't really know anything before they went to their advisor and learned about it. So I think that this partnership can help build the field of health and safety in Michigan.
This partnership could help employ many people in health and safety jobs throughout the state. It's the first partnership, and it's intended to grow further in the health and safety field. According to Nella Davis-Ray, who works for MIOSHA, she said the degree program will start registering students for classes beginning in December. And that's it for us here at Shelby This Week. You can watch us all the time on our Facebook page. Just search ShelbyTV. We'll leave you now with the 2017 Beautification Award winners. And make sure you check us out on next week's show, where we'll tell you more about the winners and their beautiful gardens. Thanks for watching.